What's going on, guys? So today's video is going to be a little different. You guys know I like being transparent with you. I like showing you exactly what I'm doing, whether it's mistakes or successes or failures, whatever it is. So today, it's not clickbait. I will be showing you all the products I sell on Amazon. Now, if you don't know, recently my account got hacked about 2 months ago when all my other stuff got hacked in, I believe it was October or November. And along with that went my Amazon account, and I was never able to get access back to that. So I had to shut down that LLC, close that account. And then I'm creating a new one right now, going to be starting products. But I'm going to share with you the products I sold, whether they were good, they were bad, or just did okay. So I'm going to share that entire list with you. And I've been asked to do this obviously a lot. And there's a reason Amazon sellers don't normally share what products they sell. Because obviously if I tell you, a lot of people are going to just jump on it. One, I do it for you guys too, mainly for me, obviously. I don't want a ton of people just jumping on a product that I'm selling. Obviously, I'll make less because of that. But also, certain products, it depends what time you get in. I could get in on a product when it's not as competitive. I could get ranked, and then a lot more people come in behind and make it more competitive. And then if you go try and start that same product maybe 2 months after I start it, you might not be able to get the same sales because you can't get ranked because it's more competitive now. So let me share my screen right now, and we'll jump right into this. Very first product I sold. Now you guys are gonna know the first 2 or 3 because I've talked about them, and then these are kind of in the order of what I did them. So the very first product I did was a camping hammock. Now I started this December 2015. It's when I started my first Amazon product. I did a little research. I wasn't using Jungle Scout or anything, and it was a camping hammock. Sales were very high. They looked great. Competition was high, and the price, I came in at about $34.99, ended up dropping it to $29.99, and I got in at Christmas and was able to sell out of these with just PPC. I was able to sell 7 to 11 a day. My initial order was about $1,200 worth, which I think was like 200 units for me. I believe it was like $6 a unit shipped, $6.50-ish, around there. So I did whatever, I think it was a little over $1,200. And it was very competitive, and I was learning a lot at the time as I sold out of these in about a month. So I did make about, I believe it was 2,000 profit on this, and was able to start my next product because I was learning during this period, and I was like, oh, this is too competitive. I got lucky. I got in December and was able to sell out because of Christmas season gifts, and I was making good profit on these. My margin, I think I was making about $12 to $14 a unit, and that was a ton of money for me at the time, but I knew I couldn't stick with that because of Christmas season. So that moved me over to product number 2. Make my face bigger. Product number 2 was the faucet extender. Now, this had, you know what, let me pull up and show you guys actually to make it easy on Amazon what these products look like. All right, guys, so I have Amazon open now, and let me show you what these products look like. Now, obviously, the numbers are going to be way different since I started some of these 2 years ago. Some you'll see now, and you're going to be like, that's way too competitive. How would you get in and get those sales? Well, the numbers were different a year or 2 ago. So that's why I say, even if you know some of my products, you shouldn't sell them or they're not good opportunities now. So I can't go take, I think there's only one product that I did not put on this list because I recently started it on my other account, and I think it's still a good product to go after. So that's the only one I'm not sharing with you guys. But let me show you what camping hammocks look like. Now these have not changed in the last 2 years because very, very competitive products. So this is Jungle Scout. Most of you guys know what this is. Pulls all these sales data here. Now, give it a second. So look at these reviews. It was a little lower, but there was a couple with 1,000 when I started again. I did not know what I was doing. I saw the sales. I'm like, I want these sales. And I was searching in November, October at the time. Ordered it, got in, I think it was December like 11th, around there. But sales used to be higher. January, obviously, all these numbers are going to be lower than normal since we're making this video January 31st. January is a slow month, so sales were a lot higher than this. You would see 500 plus all the way throughout the first page and even second, but obviously a very competitive product. Now, the second product is the faucet extender. Now this I ended up selling, I did decent. This is the first one I used Jungle Scout on. I did okay on this one. So this actually ended up being a patented product, which is why I had to stop selling it. But I was selling anywhere from 7 to 12 units a day at about a $5 to $6 profit because I sold them in a bundle of 3. Now, the competition was low on this when I was looking at it, and sales were medium to low. Average was about 200 to 300 a month, but the price point was pretty low, being $7.99 to $14.99, which is why I decided to do a pack of 2. I did a 2-pack and charged $12.99 for it. Now in this, you can see there was 1 or 2 big companies that sold this because they're patent owners, but sales looked pretty similar to this. Within the first 2 days of selling this, I was ranked number 7, and then I ended up getting to number 3 and hovered around there, getting about 250 to 300 sales a month with this, about $1,000 a month profit after PPC and whatnot. So that was my second product. My third one was a flop. Now I think I mixed these two up. I think I did the LED band before this, but I did a LED bracelet that lit up for runners. So LED, what should I try? Band. Don't remember the main keyword for this one. LED slap armband. That's what it was. Slap band. Now, you know those bracelets you snap on, goes on your wrist, and it goes on this. So the mistake I made with this one is the sales were extremely low because I had to compensate. I didn't have to. I was dumb enough and not educated enough. And I did the camping hammocks, which was crazy high sales, crazy high competition. So I went from one extreme to the other of this with low sales and very low competition, which, wow, it's actually been a lot more competitive now. There was probably the top 7 listings had an average of 25, 30 reviews when I did this one about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Sales on average, I think, were about 100, maybe. So I ordered 250 units of this one. I sold out very slow over 2 months. And my last 60 units, I actually had one person order 60 units from me, got rid of them. I think I made like $300 on this one because super low price. I think I was making $3 or $4 a unit. And there was just, the demand wasn't there. One of the issues I encountered was I was lazy and I took someone else's picture and I started using it and my listing got flagged and Amazon took it down for a little bit until I removed that picture, which is not something you should do. So I Googled an image and it happened to be one of the other sellers' images and I got in trouble for that. And then after this product, so after these two, is when I started to really learn. And these are gonna be products I've never told you guys or pretty much anyone. And it comes with number 1 being the Fuzz remover. Now this was one of my good products. Now when I came in, sales looked pretty high, competition was medium, and the price point was around, I think I meant to put $25, but let me see. So if we just look up Fuzz remover. Again, I told you guys my products are super random. You probably don't know they exist, and that's what does well on Amazon. So price has dropped a little on these, but this is one that did pretty well for me for a while, but is, again, very competitive now, so I could not get a new listing to rank there without tons and tons of money on ads. So we can see the insane competition here. It's a little up and down, but I got in on this one about almost 2 years ago, 1.5 years. Yeah, it's been like 1 year and 8 months since I started this one. I started it in May of 2016. And you can see price point varies. Mine was $24.99 and I ended up eventually dropping it to $19.99, and I did bundle something with it, but you can see how insane the reviews are and the sales. But this was my big money maker. This one by far. Ads were profitable. I was ranked number 4 for this product for a while. I moved to number 1 and I jump around between 1 and 4 because it is a very competitive product, and you can see. And now again, if you're seeing these reviews and you're like, you call BS, you're like, there's no way you can get ranked with it that competitive. Remember, timing's very important. If I get in and there's 2 or 3 reviews that are 200, 100, and the rest are like under 75, I can get ranked, and then all of these other people come in, even if they have high reviews and my sales are greater, I'm probably gonna rank higher than them. But I did spend a decent amount on PPC initially to get this ranked. I did do a giveaway. I ordered more units because I want to try the method of spending more on ads and doing giveaways to try and rank for a little bit more competitive product, and this one paid off. It was nothing like this though. It was not that insane at the time. Now the next product that I sold, again, these are all gonna be ones you guys have never seen, except for this one, was a lockpick set. I'll go over this one quick. This ended up being a restricted product. I sold it for about 3 weeks. It got removed, had 100 units left, sold them all on eBay, ended up having 7 left before it got removed on eBay, but it is a restricted product. Sales are pretty high. Competition's very low because all the listings get removed after a little bit of time, which you'll see here. So do not sell this product. It is restricted. You can maybe list it for a couple days and then Amazon will remove it. You'll get stuck with inventory. Don't do it. Numbers look pretty similar to this when I started. So that was that product. You guys know that story already though. Product number 6 was an expandable hose. Now this one, again, it's going to be pretty competitive. It wasn't when I started. It was on the competitive side. So competition was medium high here. Sales were pretty high though, and it is a little bit seasonal, but it fluctuates a little bit. So if we go expandable hose here. Now in this one, I sold different variations of it. I had one that was a shorter distance. I believe it was 25 feet. I had one that was 50, and I had one that was 100. So my price point varied from, what was it? $19.99 all the way to $59.99. So I had sales at the higher ones. I had sales at the lower ones. So it evened out. It was a little bit higher profit. Sales weren't crazy, but reviews, you probably had 2 or 3 over 100. None over 200 though when I started, and then the rest kind of looked like this. And I got it ranked with PPC, and I think having the multiple variations and bundling it with a couple other things allowed me to charge a little bit higher price. I had to differentiate myself, which again is a very important thing with Amazon, and that's why I was able to rank, well, I was in the top 5 on this one as well. I never hit number 1 on this. I went from 2 to 5, in between there, up and down, which is normal. So that was another product that did pretty well for me. Not as well as the fuzz remover, but still very good. Over 5,000 profit a month with that. The next product was an acrylic paint set. So when I found it, it was initially, the sales were high, but the competition was very high. And again, I had 3 different variations based off the number of paints in it, from $9.99 to $22.99. Now on this one, it was pretty competitive because I tried the expandable hose. The fuzz remover is a little bit more competitive, and I wanted to test out how competitive I could get with, which was this. So these reviews were pretty similar when I started this one. You can see the sales are very high, and there's some bigger name brands in here, very low price, so profit's not a ton. So high competition, high sales. Now, I was able to rank at the very bottom of page 1 on this one, and that's kind of where I got stuck without spending ridiculous amounts on PPC and losing money every day in order to try and rank. And I was happy with that. I was making about $2,000 or $3,000 a month with this still, with my different variations with a little bit of PPC. I think I was spending about $30 a day on this one, and that was bringing me some decent profit. But I did not rank high on this one just because of the insane competition and how long these listings have been there. So that was one of my other products, and I believe we have 2 more. Now this next product was a cupping set. Now this one scared me initially at first just because of the liability of something like this. Now this was a fad in early 2017, late 2016, which I got in on a little bit early. And no, I didn't include fidget spinners on here because we know that. So it was kind of a cupping set, and again, I did bundle with something. I love bundling products. So when I got in, the sales were medium, competition was medium or lower, and my price was $27.99. Again, with things like this, it's kind of health and personal care, which I was ungated in at the time. And people will spend a little bit more for that if it looks legitimate. So anything I could do to add more value, perceived value on this, to make it look higher quality, higher end, I did because I knew people would pay that price. So with this, you can see the sales are pretty high. I got in when sales were a little bit lower than this. You can see a couple of the same brands in here, which it was kind of like that at the same time. But the reviews were a little bit lower. You had about 2 big guys, which looked about the same as this. I think it was like 300, 500 reviews. You did not have 1,000. And then reviews looked kind of the same, a little bit lower. On average than this. Average, I'd say, was probably about 150 with those 2 big guys in there. And I was able to get in around the top 3 to 6 or 7. I'd fluctuate on this one. PPC did very well on this product. And that's kind of it for this one. It was just bundled, adding value, differentiating the product. And the last product that I started, I just started this one to start another because I was kind of on a dry streak of not putting a ton of time into finding products. So I just started one even though I knew profit was a little bit lower and sales were, but I was able to get in different variations, so different sizes of this due to the length. It was a climbing rope, so due to the length, I was able to get different sizes, so higher price points I could do. So I was able to play with that and get some sales with that. And if you're wondering how the sales kind of went back and forth between the cheapest one and the highest one, it was about 10 to 1 in sales. So every 10 sales I'd get at the $12.99, I'd get, so I had 4 different variations, I'd get about 6 or 7 on the next one, I'd get about 2 or 3 on the next step up, which I think it went $12.99, $22.99, $34.99, $49.99. So I'd get about 3 a week at the $49.99. I'd get about 5 or 6 at the $34.99. I'd get about, how many did I get? 10 to 15 at the $22.99 and $19.99 range, and then about 6 or 7 a day at the $12.99 range. So I was averaging about 10 sales a day, and let me show you what these look like. Now again, I did bundle something small with it, an extra set of carabiners and a little other thing on here. So you can see climbing rope. Let me pull up the numbers. So you can see the price varies again by size. Like this guy's $19.99 to $42.99. Different types of rope. Mine was not this kind. It was kind of like the almost paracord type. I don't know if it's actually paracord. But you can see reviews very, very low. Sales were not high, but I came in, offered all the variations, and then I ended up halfway through this one. Well, I had it in the works I was going to, and then my account got hacked, was create a bundle of 3 different types of sizes, put them all as one package it, and make it like $69.99. So instead of just buying that one big one, you can spend $15 more and get 2 extra ropes for pretty much free. I was gonna take that approach and see if it worked, but I was ranked number 2, number 1 in between, usually switching with this dude right here for my different variations. And it did decent. Again, it's not a high sale product, but the profit on the higher end ones was pretty good. Lower end ones, it wasn't bad. So those are all the products I sold on Amazon over the period of me selling the last 2 years. I know a lot of people have asked, and most people won't tell you what they sell even after, but you guys know I like to be transparent with you guys, kind of show you everything. So hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about the products I sold or just anything in general, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video.